Hello and welcome to Khan's Tech Lab. Today we will work on logic series. As you know, we already covered one session just to introduce the logic series and print asterisk in form of right angle triangle. In today's session, we will learn the logic of factorial. So, resolving factorial using Java, which is very simple. First, we will understand the factorial. Factorial, as the definition says, the factorial of a non-negative integer. For example, n will be denoted as n with an exclamatory mark, which represents n factorial. So this n factorial is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. So in simpler terms, it is the result of multiplying a number by every positive whole number smaller than it, which goes down to 1. The least number which can be multiplied in the factorial number is 1. Even for 0, the 0 factorial by definition is equals to 1. And also for 1, 1 factorial is also equals to 1. Now if we go by the formula, as you can see here in the formula, n factorial equals to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 and so on until into 2 into 1. For example, 5 factorial is 5 into 5 minus 1, which is 4, then 5 minus 3, which is 5 minus 2, which is 3, then 5 minus 3, which is 2, then 5 minus 4, which is equals to 1. And the multiplication is 120. Similarly, 3 factorial is 3 into 3 minus 1, which is 2, into 3 minus 2, which is 1. 3 into 2 into 1, which is equals to 6. Now, where the factorial will apply in real time. So factorials are used in various mathematical fields. For example, probability, permutations, combinations, sequences, and series, etc. Now, in real time, how can it be applied? For example, you are asked to calculate the number of ways you are arranging a set of books in a shelf. You have given 5 books, so there will be 120 ways you can arrange in the shelf. Similarly, if you are given a password generation mechanism where you are asked to give 4 letters, 4 alphabets, then a couple of integers, then one special character, together how many possibilities or permutations and combinations you can generate, those are all can be calculated using factorial. So now we will understand how can we achieve this factorial using Java. So let us start by creating a Java class. I will call it as factorial program. As it is a standalone application, I will use a main method. Now we need a few variables and a for loop to write this factorial program. For that, we will understand with the help of Excel what and all the variables we need. For example, you are trying to achieve the factorial of 1, and we already learned it should be 1 into n minus 1 into n minus 2, etc. until n minus of n minus 1, which should be equals to 1, the final one. For example, 5 minus 1 into 2 into 3 into 5 minus 4, and here are the results. So together if we multiply, the value is 120. Here we need a few variables to write the logic. One is the number on which we are performing the factorial. Then we need a variable for the factorial value, which where we save the final factorial result. Then we need to know how many iterations we want to perform. So it is very simple. As many n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into as many times we have to subtract those many times we have to multiply. So in this case it is 5. So for that we need a for loop. Now if I go to the code, it's very simple. Let's take the number as 5. Then let's take a long value which is factorial. I'll just, you can call it any name, I'm calling it factorial, and it should be at least 1, so it is 1 by default. Now we need a for loop. So the for loop will be in this way. As you can see in the Excel, the multiplier will be starting from 5. So the I should be equals to number. Then I should be greater than 0, because we cannot multiply the factorial with 0. It will leads to the whole factorial value as 0. Then we needs to decrement. So now I minus minus. So now I will just do only one statement of expression, which is factorial equals to factorial into I. And then finally we will print the factorial value, which should be equals to factorial. First I will run this and show you the result. It should be 120. Then we will debug and see how it goes. As you can see here, the expected result is also 120 and the value is also 120. For 3 it should be 6. Let me show you that. 3 into 2 into 1, it should be 6. As you can see, the value is 6. So how it works? Now I will make it 5 for better understanding of the logic, and I will start debugging it by adding a breakpoint here and debug it. As you can see, the first thing, the number is 5. We are performing the factorial for number 5. Then I will go to the next step, and the factorial started with value 1. Then as you can see, we have taken an integer, and then it should be equals to number which should be 5, and the 5 should be greater than 0. So as you can see, number is already 5. Now I am assigning I as 5. Then I 5 is greater than 0. So if I step up, as you can see, number is 5, I is 5, and factorial value we have not yet multiplied. Now factorial should be 1 into 5, which should be 5. Now you can see here the factorial has become 5 and the number is remaining the same, which is 5, but I we are decrementing here, which should be 4. Now 4 is also greater than 0. I am going to the next step. As you can see, I is 4, 4 is greater than 0, and the factorial should be already 5 and it should be multiplied with 4, which should be 20. In this iteration, the factorial became 20. In the next iteration, the I becomes 3 and the 3 is greater than 0. Then we will go inside the loop. Then the factorial value is already 20 and the I value is 3. So the final factorial value is 20 into 3, which is 60. Finally, we will get the result as 120. As you can see, the value has become 120. So this is a simple case where how we can achieve the factorial. In the upcoming sessions, we will understand how we can implement it in the permutations and combinations. So hope you like the video. If you like the video, please stay tuned for the upcoming sessions and hit the like button and share our channel and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you.